Hello everyone, I am Anup Jana and I am going to have a discussion on robotics with you. Today, I hope all of us are well known about the terms robots and robotics. Before we start, let's think of origin of these terminologies. I think we all are aware of the greatness of the famous painter Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was a mastermind artist and inventor, and it's difficult to say which of his endeavors had the greatest impact on modern day art and science. Certainly, his research has shaped current understandings of linear perspective, light, shadow, and human anatomy. He was also famed for his map making, mathematical skills, and geological knowledge. And yet, some of his most important contributions were not to cartography, architecture, or even painting. Rather, much of Da Vinci's greatest work and influence lies on the world of robotics. Da Vinci's creation span of gamut of robotics, including human-like and animal-like designs. Although many of Da Vinci's designs are incomplete, they were ahead of their time and they have since served as inspiration for modern robots in the medical and astronomy fields. Thus, his contribution to robotics cannot be overlooked, dating all the way back to his self propelled cart and ending with his mechanical lions. He has done a very good job. You can see the self propelled cart, which was designed by Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, so this was designed in 1478. Leonardo's self-propelled cart is widely considered to be world's first robotic vehicle. It operated via wound-up springs that functioned similar to a clock, and its steering could be programmed via pegs inserted into round holes. These pegs helped guide the cart by making the wheels move at specific time. Constructed out of five different types of wood, the cart was 5.5 feet long and nearly 5 feet wide, and could theoretically move over 40 yards before needing to be rewound. The drawings of Da Vinci's cart was first uncovered in the early 1900s by historian Girolamo Calvi, who nicknamed the cart Leonardo's Fiat. I hope you all know about the Fiat car. So it was named Leonardo's Fiat. For decades, attempts to recreate his design failed and researchers could not understand why. Finally, in 1997, it was discovered that the fault lay not in Da Vinci's design but in researchers. Understanding of it, the design's cart springs were intended to regulate the cart's drive mechanism, but researchers have been using them in an attempt to drive the car itself. In 2004, a working replica of Da Vinci's cart was created in Florence. Due to the cart's potential power and risks, the replica was only one third of the size of original design. A second working replica was later created in the 2009, so doing Da Vinci. Interestingly, researchers were quick to note that these replicas were similar to the rover which landed on Mars also. You can see here. Okay, you can see here what he was his creation. Now, records of Da Vinci's Knight, which was Leonardo's Knight, was 1495 and sported German Italian armor. Based on findings from the Codex, which contains the largest completion of Da Vinci's note and drawings, it's possible that Da Vinci built a working model of his design later that year. And while records can't state for certain, it's believed that the machines were featured in a celebration of one of his patrons. Leonardo's mechanical knight consisted of several gears and pulleys, and according to its design, it should have been capable of moving its arms and legs. Additionally, the knight would have been able to sit and stand also. In 2002, a modern replica was built by robotics expert Mark Rossum, and it confirmed these capabilities and more. The robot also had a fully functional jaw and could move its neck and lift its visor. In 2007, researcher Mario crafted a second replica, and it was shown to be just as functional as the first replica. Largely considered the first humanoid robot ever created, Da Vinci's design would later be utilized by NASA to aid in the construction of planetary exploration robot. Revolutionary for all the time, his knight continues to inspire robotics today. Now, next we will come to the early conceptions of robots. One of the first instances of a mechanical device built to regularly carry out a particular physical task occurred around 3000 BC. Egyptian water clocks used human figurines to strike the hour bells. In 400 BC, architect, the inventor of the pulley and the screw, also invented a wooden pigeon that could fly. Hydraulically operated statues that could speak, gesture, and prophecy were commonly constructed in Hellenic Egypt during the 2nd century BC. Now we'll see the first modern robots. The earliest robots, as we know them, were created in the early 1950s by George C. Devil, who is an inventor from Louisville. He invented and patented a reprogrammable manipulator called Unimet from Universal Automation. For the next decade, he attempted to sell his product in the industry but did not succeed. In the late 1960s, businessman or engineer Joseph Engelberger acquired Devil's robot patent and was able to modify it into an industrial robot and form a company called Unimation to produce and market the robots. For his efforts and success, Engelberger is known in the industry as the father of robotics. Academia also made much program in the creation of new robots. In 1958, the Stanford Research Institute led a research team in that Charles Roshan, who led a research team in developing a robot called Shaky. Shaky was far more advanced than the original Unimate, which was designed for specialized industrial applications. Shaky could wheel around the room, observe the scene with its vision or television eyes, move across unfamiliar surroundings, and to a certain degree respond to his environment. He was given his name because of his wobbly and catering movements. Now, coming to robotics, already we have given some idea about the history of robotics, and now we will see about robotics, right? So, robotics can be called as an interdisciplinary research area in the interface of all engineering branches, which involves design, construction, operation, manufacturing, and also use of robots. The goal of robotics is to design intelligent machines that can help and assist human in their day-to-day lives and keep everyone safe. Robotics draws on the achievement of information engineering, computer engineering, mechanical engineering, electronic engineering, artificial intelligence, etc., and all others. Robotics develops machines that can substitute for humans and replicate human actions. Robots can be used in many situations for many purposes. But today, many are used, or many of us are using robots in dangerous environments, including inspection, including radioactive materials, bomb detection, deactivation, etc., along with manufacturing processes where humans cannot survive. under high heat and in hazardous conditions and where we are experiencing radiation. Robot can take on any form, but some are made to resemble humans in appearance. This is said to help in the acceptance of a robot in certain replicative behavior usually performed by people. Such robots attempt to replicate walking, lifting, speech, recognition, or any other human activity. Many of today's robots are inspired by nature, contributing to the field of bio inspired robotics. Now, we'll move to the next slide. Let us try to understand why we should learn robotics or what is the need of learning robotics. Number one, advancements. Technology has occupied our mind with its simplicity and robustness. It is very difficult to spend even a single day without the influence of technology. Robots play a vital role to meet technological requirements and fulfill the need of technical achievements. Next, you can see quality of product. Robots can be used to complete repetitive tasks and that will improve accuracy because the robot will not experience fatigue or introduce human error. Next point, you see automation. Robot facilitates automation in manufacturing process. It lowers operating costs. It can perform the work of 3 to 5 people depending on the task. Improve worker safety, reduced factory lead time, etc. All these things are also the beauty of robots, or you can say advantages of robots. And another point is you can see speed and consistency. Robots don't get distracted or need to take breaks like breakfast, lunch, dinner, etc. And they don't want to go to washroom also. Robots never need to divide their attention between multitudes of things. Coming to the next slide. So we understood the need of studying this subject. Now we will study about robotics in details. We are going to cover the introduction part followed by definition, objective, components of robots in this session. The term robotics, the term robotics is defined as the science of designing and building robots which are suitable for real life applications in automated and some non-automated manufacturing environments. Okay, it is a branch of engineering that involves the concept of design, manufacturing, and operations of robots. This field overlaps with electronics, computer science, artificial intelligence, mechatronics, etc., as said earlier. The term robot was first introduced by the Czech word robota, so which means forced labor. Czech writer Karel Čapek took this name for the first time in the year 1920 for a play which was named as RUR, Rossum's Universal Robots. You can see the image of the one of the play. Okay, the play begins in a factory that makes artificial people called robots. Coming to the next slide, the definition. Yeah, we can say it's a machine resembling a human being and able to replicate certain human movements and functions automatically. According to RIA, which is known as Robotics Industry Association or else Robot Institute of America, it is in America. It's a reprogrammable multifunctional manipulator designed to move materials, parts, tools, or specialized devices through variable programmed motion for a variety of tasks. Okay, so this is the definition of robotics. Let us move to the objective of robotics or studying robotics. Number one, to increase productivity. Yes, it helps increasing productivity as it supports automation. Number two, if we see, it reduces production time. Yes, human effort. If we do something, okay, we will not be able to maintain the quality as well as for some hectic job it will take much time to complete it. Then next, minimize labor requirement. So it reduces the requirement of labor. Okay, it reduces the requirement of labor as it can also work like human being. It doesn't experience fatigue. Okay, and it can do flawless work also. So that's why it minimizes the requirement of labor. Next point, it enhances quality of products. That means, as we say, generally nowadays we want any product which will be having good finishing, or which will be, you can say, accurate, which will be precise material. So that also it helps. Next, coming to minimizing unit cost of product, it helps in minimizing the unit cost as I said, due to the help of automation, or due to the means blessings of automation, we can produce more number of products in less time. That means it helps in reducing the unit cost of product. It helps in mass production. You might have seen in many places, like you can see this video, like robots, how robots are doing, how robots are working in automobile fields. You can see it, right? So similarly, it helps in minimizing the unit cost. Then next, if you are going to pick and place, you are going for pick and place operation. Suppose very heavy materials are there, which has to be picked from one place and which has to be placed in another place. So in that case, human being can experience some kind of accidents, right? So if we are using robots, it can prevent those accidents, or it will increase safety in the production process. And another point is make or produce reliable products. Okay, we all are now fond of reliability of anything like if you purchase a mobile or you purchase anything. So we will always want that we should have good reliability of it, right? So this is another one reason why we should study robotics. Next, components. So it has got few components. Number one, we have got manipulator or rover, which is the skeleton of robot, right? So, or you can say it is the main body of the robot, which will consist links, linkages, joints, structural elements of the robots. Next, we have got end effector, like we have got our fingers. Okay, like if you want to grip something, suppose anything you want to grip, so what is it requires, like depending on the type of material, you will apply some force. Okay, these fingers or these joints has to be bent with certain degree. Okay, and then it will grip it, right? So this kind of works, like depending on work, it will have like vacuum curve, end effector, mechanical type, pneumatic type, many types of end effectors will be there, which will be required here. Next, actuators. Actuator is like muscle of robot. Okay, we may have electrical actuator, we may have mechanical actuator, we may have even pneumatic actuator. It depends on our requirement, right? Generally, electrical actuators like servo motor or stepper motors, those things are required, or those things are acting as the muscle of robot or actuator of. Coming to sensors, we all know that our eyes we use for visualizing anything or looking at anything. We use our ears to listen to something. Okay, and it can also detect the intensity of any speech, intensity of any sound. Similarly, we use our skin to detect the temperature of any body or to sense the existence of any material. So these kind of things are also required in robots, like which are called as sensors. So many kind of sensors will have. Okay, so which will be used in robots. And another one is like brain of robot, which is called as controller. Like we have detected some temperature, we have touched some surface. It is the temperature is very high. Okay, so it will immediately give the data to our mind, and our brain will calculate like what to do now. Then it will tell us, or it will instruct us to remove our hand from that surface, right? So that kind of work is done by controller. Okay, which will receive data from computer. Now in this diagram you can see that we have got all the components, we have got the base which is required. Okay, like we also need some base, and it will be definitely grounded in case of robot. Okay, if it is not a humanoid robot, generally we can place robot if we are talking about, or industrial robot if we are talking if we are talking about, then it requires a base which will be firmly connected with the ground, and with the help of links and linkages, like our arms will be there, no, so this is one link, this is another one link, so similar to that we will have arm, right? And then we will have a wrist, okay, which will have many degree of freedom, clear. So wrist we will have, and finally end effector, as I said, like our fingers, this will work as end effector, right? So these are few points in today's class we wanted to discuss. Hope few idea we got about the introduction part of robotics. Thank you.